What's up, you guys, and welcome to Momentum Media. We will be live streaming the Game Awards. Let me go ahead and get everything set up and add it to the stage. We are going to have a good time tonight, guys. We're going to watch and react to everything that is coming out on the Game Awards. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. Let me know let me know what you are expecting when we're going to the Game Awards this year. Are we going to get, new and big reveals? Are we going to get a big Wolverine trailer potentially, or anything going on? I wanted to start about 30 minutes early just to get to prep and get everything correct, but looks like I said, like the Game Awards is going to start in about 30 minutes. I'm going to have certain things queued up. Give me just a moment. Boom. There we are. We are there. So, yeah. So, Game Awards starts at about 30 minutes. While that's playing, while we're waiting on that, we are going to actually pull up and see what IGN is doing. So we won't have some dead air.
Mr. Versetti, Colonel, thank you for coming. Please sit.
Let's be blunt here, right?
So
Tommy
I
Vercetti's a
am
wanker. No,
hella
really,
excited
he is. I know he fronts
to
one of the best
see.
games in the series, and he's played so memorably by the late Ray Liotta, and he wears a cool shirt. But the elephant in the room
We're
here
gonna
is that
get
he's
through
more or
this.
less
So
a legally distinct Tony
Game
Montana
Awards
from
are gonna be
Scarface.
streaming in
He's
about
in
an
the same
hour.
business,
So I
he has
can't
the
wait
same
to see
temper, he even lives
what we
in the
got going
same
on.
gaff.
So,
The main
guys, hop in the
difference is that
chat and let
Tommy
me know
Vercetti isn't shown
what
to
you're
be
gonna think
addicted
of
to his own
tonight's
product, but
show.
despite this, is just as quick to anger and just as extreme in his outlook. Which means he's just a wanker, isn't it? And if you're not a cokehead and you're acting like a wanker, you're just a wanker, right? It's basically just maths.
After all, you're a conniving, backstabbing two-bit thief, and I'm a convicted psychotic killer and drug dealer.
This is Pop's capo, Tony Cipriani.
Yeah, I'm Tony Cipriani.
Tony Cipriani and Victor Vance both appear as minor characters in mainline GTA games and were later given center stage in handheld spin-offs. Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories look to give players a proper home console GTA experience on Sony's impressive PSP handheld, which was roughly equivalent to a PS2 that you could stuff in your pocket alongside your wallet chain and, I don't know, your T-Mobile Sidekick or whatever the we were carrying around back then. The point is, mates, that these weren't compromised versions of GTA. They were full-fat renditions of GTA's Liberty City and Vice City that you could play on the bus. But aside from that, they weren't all that memorable, and their stories centered around bit part characters who bore little resemblance to how they were portrayed in earlier games that they served as prequels for. Both Vance and Cipriani undergo some fairly drastic personality transplants in order to work as protagonists. To compound this, their voice actors change, meaning Tony Cipriani is no longer played by Michael Madsen, which is frankly the entire appeal of the character. And while he looks convincingly like a younger version of the GTA 3 quest giver, we have to accept that he's done a lot of aging in the supposed 3 years between the games. Like, I know he's meant to have eaten a lot of pasta, but come on, man. Meanwhile, Victor Vance doesn't even look like the same guy and has the polar opposite attitude to being involved in the drug trade that he's depicted to just 2 in-game years later. These things can be hand-waved away given how little screen time the original character has, but that just raises the question of why? Why are these games centered around a quest dispenser and someone whose function in the original game is to get unceremoniously assassinated in order to provide character motivation for their dipshit brother? We don't need to know what these guys were up to before they did their bit and pissed off. I'd have rather had an entire game as Ken Rosenberg, Tommy Vercetti's cokehead lawyer, who's originally from Liberty City and could have headed up several handheld games in a sort of Ace Attorney style spin-off series. And frankly, I think it's very rude of Rockstar to stop taking my calls about it. GTA 4's acclaimed single-player story expansions, remember those, center on characters whose lives are entangled with the main story, often allowing you to see certain events from alternate perspectives, which is pretty cool. What isn't cool is that Johnny Klebitz is a biker, and therefore you spend the vast majority of Lost and Damned, as good as it is, locked into riding a motorbike, which are abominable things in any universe, but particularly in the GTA one, where driving is all about just haphazardly ploughing other vehicles out of the way with abandon, unless you're only on two wheels, in which case it's all about trying and failing to avoid getting flung off the thing. The bike mechanics were tweaked to account for this somewhat, but it was still a pain in the saddled arse to have to learn how to get good on them. That's not really a criticism of Johnny Klevitz as a character, but because he's a biker, he's also a smelly bastard who doesn't wash, and that's not conjecture. His personal hygiene issues are portrayed in the game. I'm not being funny, guys, but I just can't sign off on that. Have a bath, man. You wear leather all day. Ugh.
Hey, stick to the plan. What? Stick to the plan.
As the de facto leader of the trio that front GTA 5's single-player story, Michael may be one of the most relatable characters in the entire series, in the sense that he's middle-aged, a bit past it, and depressed. And you know what? He's a likable guy. He's funny, and in his own way, he's a good dad, so much so that even his awful and grateful airheaded Californian Waynes can't sustain their built-in malevolence toward him for the entire story, which nowadays would make him a sort of millennial icon. Unlike most millennials, though, he's loaded and has his own swimming pool, a yacht, and several luxury cars, and apparently enough money to pay for a therapist who operates from one of those Lego houses on the beachfront in Santa Monica, making him, unfortunately, part of the bourgeoisie and therefore despicable. The last but most handheldy of handheld spin-offs, GTA Chinatown Wars was set in the same Liberty City as GTA 4. Seen as something of a throwback to the earlier games, it featured a top-down perspective, much simplified graphics, and a story told in a visual novel style through character artwork, a stylistic choice made to accommodate the limitations of its original host platform, the family-friendly Nintendo DS. Yeah, we all did a double take about that at the time as well. The later PSP version looked and played a lot better, but that really shone a light on how perfunctory the story was. It's a fairly forgettable collection of cutscenes about Huang Li's rise from small-time drug dealer to triad golden boy. He's avenging his father, someone's nicked a sword. It's a bunch of tropes in a blender, but to his credit, Huang Li is fairly unique among GTA protagonists in his fierce loyalty to just one faction, as opposed to just being a sort of freelancer slash serial murderer slash one-man guerrilla war against the entire police department sort of guy.
Hey, what's your name, son?
It's Luis, man.
Louis. Oh no, you take me where I gotta go, which is back to Liberty City again, this time in its final expansion, The Ballad of Gay Tony, which is perhaps most well known for the titular character being a blatant homage to Fast Love era George Michael, God rest him. It ties together GTA 4's so-called impossible trinity of main characters whose orbits collide during the infamous diamond deal that is attended by Niko Bellic, guarded by Johnny Klevitz, and ambushed by our Louis. GTA 4's intricate trilogy comes to a head with Gay Tony, and you can see the protogenesis here of what was to come in GTA 5, a game whose trinity of main characters play out their stories simultaneously in real time. Three characters who all feel markedly different to inhabit, with different motivations and attitudes to crime. Louis is a smartly drawn, conflicted character who feels uneasy about his criminality and has ambitions of legitimacy. Also, his campaign displays a perceptible shift from the grimy pseudo-realism of Niko Bellic's world to something more resembling the Hollywood spectacle of GTA 5, another way in which this trilogy foreshadows the delights to come. And he's also not a smelly bastard biker, so you know.
You're still banned.
What about these two?
Whoever wins gets banned.
Trevor Phillips. GTA 5's Trevor isn't a biker either, but he probably smells even worse. And speaking of bikers, he infamously arrives on the scene and immediately murders a fan favorite one, none other than Johnny Klevitz. It's a brutal and unsettling scene in which a new GTA protagonist beats a previous one to death. Groundbreaking in that sense. San Andreas had a historic first when a former and current protagonist butted heads on the racetrack over a love interest. This encounter makes that rivalry look like a pleasant afternoon tea, and again, it's an argument started over a love interest. I use the word love interest in the loosest sense. Johnny's murder is the catalytic event that kicks off the first act of Trevor's story, a breakneck rampage against remnants of the Lost Biker Gang and Trevor's hostile takeover of every criminal enterprise in Hicksville. And it's at this point we all fell in love with him. An irresistible combination of Charles Bronson and Begbie from Trainspotting, hilariously depraved, and more or less a self-insert for every GTA player, rampaging through the world in the exact same way as you have always done, even when it made little sense in context of the story. As Victor Vance, as Louis Lopez, as Nico Bellic, Trevor is a middle finger to the common criticism that GTA can't have compelling characters without massive ludonarrative dissonance. He's awful, but lovable. He's a deranged substance abuser that lives in a rusty trailer, but he's clever, cunning, and quick-witted. We love him because he's extreme to the point of absurdity, but ultimately we love Trevor because he is us. And the implications of that are probably a whole video essay on its own, which I'm not going to make, by the way. I can't be bothered.
Ooh, honey. Y'all telling me? Oh, he here. We living on top of each other, and it ain't right.
GTA 5's Franklin is a class act. As a professional car thief, he's probably the most run seal of Grand Theft Auto frontmen, and as a young, polite, generally unassuming guy from a humble background who's just trying to get on in life against the backdrop of endless financial crises and an America in a permanent phase of decline, he's actually quite relatable. Probably the most relatable of them all, in fact. That he's named after America's two most diametrically opposed statesmen is probably not a coincidence. Benjamin Franklin may be most famous as a mere euphemism for cash money, but he's one of the USA's most revered founding fathers. A scientist, a diplomat, a staunch public servant, even a GTA 5 players forget about around 5 minutes after it's first introduced. But it's cool as hell and makes him an excellent getaway driver, which aptly represents what he is as a character. A smart, capable guy who's pulled into the schemes of a pair of middle-aged reprobates in search of a better life for himself. As GTA's sole representative of the millennial generation, it's hard not to like him unless you think millennials are a bunch of simpering, avocado toast-eating, participation trophy bedwetters, in which case you probably think he should be way further up the list, but I'm writing this in your nose, so deal with it.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
It was 1999 on.
For my money, San Andreas is the absolute best game in the 3D universe, and that is in no small part down to Carl Johnson. CJ, the wisecracking Californian hailing from the heyday of gangster rap, represents, much like Franklin, a generation of African Americans who came of age during a period of social unrest and biting economic hardship, which doesn't seem to have ever ended. Weird that. Still, as CG, you get to ride bicycles along the sun-kissed Santa Monica beachfront, do dance competitions in modified lowriders, and something that no GTA before it had ever managed to pull off: road trips. Honest to goodness, vast stretches of highway linking three enormous GTA cities. Well, they felt enormous at the time. Also unique to this incarnation of GTA is character customization. CJ is a fixed character, but through various mini-games and activities, players can change his vital statistics and level up his strength, his size, his athleticism. You can, by investing considerable time and effort, be the CJ you want to be. And in a rare show of body positivity for the series, all shapes and sizes are valid. In fact, there are even situations where being a big, huge, fat guy is preferable, in the dating simulator, for example, or when voicing a ranked list of GTA protagonists. Oh, wait, hang on, I might have confused myself there.
Oh, yeah! There she is! Liberty City! Yeah, you ever been? Oh, crazy place, Nico.
You knew this was coming, and you might think it's the Sude's choice, but Niko Bellic is, without a doubt, Grand Theft Auto's most compelling, most quintessential protagonist. A perfect blend of anonymous player insert and narrative nexus. With an established personality, he has all the things that a GTA protagonist should do. He's funny, he's ambitious, he's a reluctant scumbag, and at the start of the game, he, like the player, is a new arrival to Liberty City, an illegal alien in every sense of the term, apart from, spaceships and anal probing and all that. Niko Bellic finds America as bewildering and baffling as we all do, even most Americans, I think, but brings a stoic Eastern European detachment to proceedings that spotlights the absurdity of these brash, loud personalities that become Niko Bellic's friends, allies, and enemies over the course of the game. In a series that is explicitly a satire of American excess, Niko is the perfect send-up of the American dream, arriving into New York on a boat, ready for a new life in the capital of Western civilization, and it kind of sucks. And the problems he left back in his homeland don't disappear. In fact, they follow him to Liberty City and collide spectacularly with the various conflicts that are already happening there. I mean, that's not a metaphor. That's a Ken Burns documentary. GTA 4 remains the smartest, most ambitious, and adjusting for the passage of time, most technically impressive GTA ever made. And it's Niko Bellic that pulls us through it, that gives us all the proper context and imbues it with a much more profound sense of satire than could be achieved if he were simply yet another American going about his American business in America. He's the best protagonist, not just because he's the best written, not just because he has the most interesting backstory, and not just because his character model is subject to the forces of the most complex physics simulation that the series has ever had and sadly abandoned by the next game. He's the best protagonist because he's an outsider looking in. He is Grand Theft Auto personified, the perfect avatar through which to explore this exciting, enormous, absolutely deranged, and impossibly intricately detailed European view of what America is like. Well, Scottish, which still counts as European despite all that business a while back. And so concludes our definitive ranking of GTA protagonists, apart from Mike from GTA Advance, because he's in a 2D game set in the 3D universe, which makes him frankly too much of an anomaly to think about. And it's not like any of you noticed. The 12 people who played this would rather forget. So yeah, definitive. Pop over to Eurogamer and subscribe for more IGN-affiliated content like this.
Over the past decade, the Battle Royale genre has exploded, making it one of, if not the most popular genre of video games on the planet. Of course, one of their marquee features generally involves tossing dozens of players into a map to scavenge for resources, weapons, and gear while trying to outlast the rest and become the last one standing. While this gameplay is still at the core of most Battle Royales, many have added additional features to spice things up, and the best of the best have earned their spot on this list. To lay down some ground rules, we're only looking at modern Battle Royales, or games that are currently still available to play. So while they were good during their time, we won't be featuring things like H1Z1, Spellbreak, or Ring of Elysium. We're also not including any games that feature a smaller Battle Royale mode as a side dish to its main offerings, like Fallout 76's Nuclear Winter mode or Civilization 6's Red Death mode. So, without further ado, let's commence the Battle Royale of Battle Royales in our ranking of the top 10 Battle Royales. What began as a parody of PUBG has actually evolved into a fun battle royale in its own right. Made by the same team behind Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, Totally Accurate Battlegrounds is a silly physics-based deathmatch for up to 60 players. As you wobble around through its uniquely low-poly map, you'll discover 90 different weapons, ranging from stacks of cash to make it rain on enemies, to a water gun, to a literal hand cannon. Add that to the amusing ragdoll physics and deceptively good gameplay, and you've got an experience that smartly toes the line of parody and genuine fun. Battlegrounds' goofy, nonsensical humor may not be totally accurate to the other Battle Royale with Battlegrounds in its names, but that's obviously the point. Before Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 arrived, a spin-off to the long-in-development RPG sequel was released in the form of a bloodthirsty battle royale, Blood Hunt. Set in the beautiful European city of Prague, Blood Hunt lets you dart across its moonlit rooftops and battle through its cobbled streets in order to become the last bloodsucker standing. A fun combination of both melee and ranged weapons, plus a host of vampiric abilities to wield, gives Blood Hunt a distinct feel when compared to the other games in the genre, along with its PvPvE wrinkle, as an AI-controlled vampire hunter roams the map as well as your opponents. This also adds an interesting layer of stealth to the mix, as you attempt to mask your true identity from the humans. Your time to jump in is limited, though, with Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt's server shutting down for good in April 2026. So, sorry if you're reading or watching this after that date. Tetris 99 finds new life in the perennial puzzle hit. By pitting 99 players against each other in a race to clear lines, Tetris 99 can be stressful enough, but your playfield is surrounded by 98 other players so that you can keep track of every Tetris game simultaneously. The anxiety-inducing nature of it all aside, Tetris 99 smartly lets you impact other players' games with your own Tetramino prowess, sending screen-filled junk blocks to the other players' games to hopefully knock them out and seek a win. And despite initially launching as a limited game for the Nintendo Switch Online players, Tetris 99 has become a permanent staple, receiving a continuous stream of themed events and DLC to ensure that this new T-spin on an old classic stays fresh. Guns, guns, guns. So many battle royales are centered around the idea of firearms. So while the idea of another battle royale was an initially tiresome thought, Naraka Blade Point ended up being the refreshing take on the genre thanks to its sharp melee action. Mastering the intricacies of its combat and movement systems is a challenge by itself, but throw up another 59 players in its ever-shrinking map, and the skill ceiling gets raised as the circle gets smaller. With over 20 characters loaded up with skills, vast arsenals, and tide-turning ultimate abilities, Naraka Blade Point can take a little time to get your head around, but master its melee-based combat and pixel-perfect parry maneuvers, and the satisfaction will soon follow. If you fancy a challenging battle royale, free of build wars and machine guns, Naraka Blade Point provides a genuinely clever spin on the genre's familiar formula. Okay, who says battle royales can't be hilarious? Fall Guys draws inspiration from shows like Takeshi's Castle and Wipeout, as 60 players, or 60 amusingly costumed beans, go head-to-head in an assortment of game show-esque mini-games. Each round sees a number of players eliminated until only one player is left standing or falling and crowned the champion. Mediatonic's take on the genre was a massive hit out of the gate, but the developers haven't rested on their laurels. Each subsequent season of play brings with it new minigames, new twists on existing ones, and a host of cosmetics to unlock. Fall Guys is utter, organized chaos in the best way. And whether you've nabbed your crowns or been consistently knocked off a slime climb run, it's a consistently delightful experience unlike any other Battle Royale. In theory, the large-scale warfare of the Battlefield series is a perfect match for the Battle Royale genre. Each aspect of the long-running EA shooter, from its verticality, vehicles, and penchant for environmental destruction, is suited for an ever-shrinking map begging to be navigated and broken apart as is your wont. But 2019's short-lived Firestorm mode, which launched exclusively to owners of Battlefield 5, proved this theory wrong as it struggled to hold a captive player base, with its servers eventually shuttering. But redemption for Battlefield Studios comes in the form of RedSec, the fresh new swing at a Battle Royale that rights all the wrongs of its first draft. Fort Linden is a map brimming with possibilities and a welcome variety of missions to complete within it, each smartly converting the long-loved Battlefield formula of squad-based objectives and sharpshooting into something that works here. The traditional last team standing offering is also joined by the excellent Gauntlet mode, which transplants the game show-like thrills of Fall Guys into the much less colorful, militaristic surroundings of Battlefield 6. It's surprising tweaks to the established rules of the Battle Royale like this that give Battlefield RedSec a chance to stand out from the rest, especially to the much compared Call of Duty Warzone, and gives it a chance to finally prove the theory of being at home in the genre. PUBG is the granddaddy of Battle Royales and arguably one of the most influential, as it effectively established the genre as we know it in 2017, spawning dozens of copycats over the past few years. Created by Brendan PlayerUnknown Green as a refined version of his DayZ Battle Royale mod in Arma 2, and later Arma 3, PUBG reached mainstream success and introduced players to many of the staple concepts of the genre. It's more realistic than many battle royales, requiring players to carefully manage their inventory and apply weapon mods and attachments manually while scouring the map for resources. While it held a reputation for being notoriously clunky and unpolished over the years, we wouldn't be here without the likes of PUBG. Given the genre's boom and attention, it's no surprise that one of the biggest shooter franchises around wanted in on the action. But Call of Duty's Warzone is not just a quick cash-in. It's one of the best battle royales around. Warzone builds on the foundation of Call of Duty Blackout, supporting a staggering 150 players while exploring unique and interesting gameplay changes with each new season, including a clever integration of the popular Zombies mode. Warzone is also a bit more forgiving when compared to other battle royales, as you're not necessarily sent back to the lobby upon death. Instead, players are sent to the Gulag, a grimy prison area where they face off against other dead players in one-on-one combat for a chance to return to the match. Another feature unique to Warzone is the ability to purchase and use a custom loadout, allowing players to regularly access and utilize their preferred guns and perks as they fight for supremacy in Verdansk and its other maps, which, let's face it, we just don't love as much. Add all this to the plenty of vertical combat thanks to the massive skyscrapers and vehicular combat, and Warzone delivers one of the most varied battle royales out there. Created as a spin-off of Fortnite's cooperative PvE survival mode, Save the World, Fortnite Battle Royale burst into the scene in 2018 and catapulted the genre into a phenomenon. Not only is Fortnite responsible for creating the Battle Pass system that so many games, Battle Royale or not, have implemented since, but it's also paved the way for true crossplay and cross-progression between consoles, PC, and mobile. It's hosted massive in-game virtual concerts for Travis Scott, Marshmellos, Steve Aoki, and more, becoming as much of a social experience as a competitive one. But Fortnite's biggest, Victory Royale, has become its unique storytelling approach. It's established a narrative for its island that quickly resulted in each new season being a moment. Points of interest appeared and disappeared as events demanded it, with many seasons culminating in massive events that eventually led to the entire in-game island being sucked into a black hole, putting the game on pause for a few real-world days. Now, in its second chapter, Fortnite has established itself as a consistently unexpected but thrilling hallmark of the genre that is still a blast to play, and one that features the biggest pop culture.
The official product partner of IGN is Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
The Game Awards. Coming up is IGN's pre-show previewing everything we know about the event before it kicks off.
The biggest surprises are still to come.
The game of the year.
Stick around for our recap show with our team of industry experts.
Lots of big announcements to get
I am
to.
so excited. This is going to make PCs cry.
Plus, exclusive looks at new games we can't even show you yet. The Game Awards coverage starts right.
Hello and welcome to IGN's The Game Awards Countdown Show. I'm your host, Damon Hadfield, along with co-hosts Aliak and Nick Lamone. What is up, everybody?
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Same. It's a great day to be at IGN, Damon.
This is becoming a holiday tradition for us. Get together in December, watch the Game Awards, and watch a lot of big, exciting game announcements, stuff that we're going to be talking about and looking forward to over the next year, couple years, maybe even more than that. Lots to look forward to coming up tonight. A lot of games have already been confirmed to be part of the show. Some games have leaked. We know Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight, huge reveal from Gamescom earlier this year. That's going to be on the show. We know Saros, which is the next game from Housemarque, follow-up to Returnal, is coming up. In just a few minutes, we are going to check out these Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's big event that not only looks back at some of the best games of the year, but also always manages to pack a ton of new surprise trailers, game reveals, celebrity cameos, and more. Luckily for you, we already know about a few games of the show. Plus, there's a bunch of things we suspect will also be there. So, before we get started, if you want to bring home some awesome stuff celebrating several of the Game Awards nominees like Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and more, head to store.ign.com and get yourself a t-shirt, a collectible, or one of the amazing Yoshitaka Amano art prints for your walls. Go ahead. You deserve it. You know, you've been very good this year. All right. Let's talk about what we know, what we think we know will be at the Game Awards tonight. One game we know is going to be there is Phantom Blade Zero, a game that Nick has played.
Yes.
Give us a crash course on Phantom Blade Zero.
Phantom Blade Zero, people are going to think, oh, is that a Soulsborne? Not quite. It's more of an action RPG in the vein of something like Devil May Cry, but the TLDR is you play as an assassin who gets poisoned and he's fighting for a cure to save his life. And there's multiple weapon sets you can swap between. I know that the game is very inspired by wuxia, kung fu style combat. So it's just very fluid, very elegant. This is going to be from Chinese developer S Game, I believe. And every time I see this game, I just cannot believe that it exists. I think for the longest time, I thought every single bit of footage we've seen from this game was all bull shots, but I can confirm the game does look as good as it feels to play, and it feels real good to play. I hope we get a release date. This game has been a long ring hitting the mainstream, is that it's kind of become like people are fine with games being difficult and challenging. And I love that. That's so exciting from a person who wants to play games that are challenging and, just difficult. I think like the low point for me was the Wii era where I was like, oh, these games are so easy. They're all baby mode. But now it's just the public wants more. They want a challenge. And this is the kind of stuff that is going to meet them on the level that they expect. And I cannot wait for it.
This has been a long time coming. It's Phantom Blade Zero. We had it on IGN Live 2024.
Yes.
A year and a half ago now. So hopefully we do get finally a release date for this one.
Packed room at IGN Live, by the way. It was nuts.
Nice. Okay, another confirmation of tonight that we're going to see is something new Divinity. Some new Divinity game. There, Jeff Keighley tweeted out there was some sort of a statue or a sculpture out in the wilderness somewhere. It has since been confirmed, thanks to some copyrights, that's going to be a Divinity something.
Yes.
That's Larian Studios, who just did Baldur's Gate 3 a couple years ago. huge D&D RPG hit. But before that, they were doing Divinity games, Original Sin 1 and 2, and then I think there's like 4 other Divinity.
There's
games
other
before
Divinity
that.
games. There's like an RTS one. There's one called Divine Divinity. So this is a storied franchise, and I do think that I remember seeing, I think it was on Twitter, one of the developers over at Larian responded to saying, okay, guys, we're not working on Divinity Original Sin 3, which only makes my brain go, so you're working on Divinity 3 or Divine Divinity 3, some sort of CRPG. We do know that they are no longer, they licensed the Dungeons and Dragons IP from Wizards of the Coast for Baldur's Gate 3. They are, that was just a one and done thing. So we know that they are working on something that's their own, and what better thing to work on, like taking all the learnings that they got from Baldur's Gate 3 in terms of the cinematic presentation and how the player choice really affects the overall arc of the game, and applying that to their own original universe in Divine Divinity or Divinity Original Sin. And I think it's a match made in heaven. I'm currently in the middle of another Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough right now. So when I saw all this news, I was like, oh, please put it in my veins right now. I need it. And again, Divinity Original Sin 2 is outstanding. I do know that I think we saw another like Wario 64 trademark thing or something hit ESRB of Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition for PS5. So I feel like that's going to be a 1-2 punch announcement of here's this game for more people to experience, get familiar with this own custom fantasy universe, and then here's the new one.
Alec, I think there are very few types of games that Nick Lamone does not want
I
projected into his brains, because he's like,
Give me all the games.
wuxia character action games, hardcore CRPG games. If they had a brand new JRPG game, he'd probably want that in there too. So he's a very well-rounded gamer. But what about you? I know you said you dabbled a little bit in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
And you haven't played Divinity. So
No, I have not. I didn't realize it existed until the hype started showing up online. I was like, what's this Divinity game? So I asked Nick. Obviously, he was very excited about it. And then he told me about the D&D connections. And I love playing D&D. So I should probably finish Baldur's Gate first. And then should I do Divinity first?
clear at least 100 hours for Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I'm at 50 hours in on my current playthrough. But one thing that's great though, and Damon, you brought this up earlier, is Larian does such a good job of doing co-op campaigns where you can play a game with your buddies, and it is
or online
or locally, I believe.
Yeah.
And it is just like playing Dungeons and Dragons with a very experienced and like critically acclaimed dungeon master. So great stream game. I think it would do very I'm just very excited for this level of CRPG to be back. Planescape Torment and Fallout 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games of all time, and I feel like those were relics of the past. They didn't really fit into modern sensibilities. And I think, again, like the Elden Ring comparison from earlier, Larian, I would argue they single-handedly brought back the CRPG and made it mainstream for people, because like Elden Ring, people know Baldur's Gate 3, which is wild. So I'm just very stoked for more people to get to enjoy something that is truly one of a kind.
Okay, another game confirmed we will be seeing tonight is Exodus. And you may have forgotten about this one. This is a game that was revealed at the Game Awards 2023. So it's been a couple years. It's a sci-fi RPG made from a team of ex-BioWare developers. So if you look at it and you get Mass Effect vibes, there's a good reason for that. It stars Matthew McConaughey, and it's all about time dilation. So you make choices, and then you see the impact of your choices over the course of not just days or weeks, but years, decades, maybe even centuries. So this definitely looks cool. We were talking a little bit about this before. There's some, big BioWare Mass Effect fans here on this panel. I think this is like sort of fulfilling a niche that no one else is really serving right now. Yeah. Right now, I'm playing Outer Worlds 2, a sci-fi RPG, but very different from Mass Effect, much less serious. I feel like we're missing that sort of like sci-fi RPG opera that has a lot of weight and gravity to it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think the one thing that has me the most interested about that game is the kind of like interstellar, like planet time dilation stuff of like a choice that you make on a given planet by just virtue of space travel being taking a very long time. These things are going to warp and evolve over time. So what you do in 1 year will ripple, butterfly effect hundreds of years later. It does look a lot more Mass Effect 1 to me, which is very exciting for me because I kind of, and I'm not trying to be a hipster here, but I do prefer the Mass Effect 1 gameplay style of like, it's very Knights of the Old Republic where you kind of send out your squad mates. It feels very XCOM tactical, and the radial menus pop up, you choose abilities, and then you unleash them all at the same time. I really like the slow and methodical pace of the original Mass Effect, so I'm hoping this does a little bit more of that, along with, again, it seems like they're bringing the performances to match the caliber of development talent behind this. Matthew McConaughey, all right.
I mean, he was there at the Game Awards 2023. I don't know if he's going to come back.
He's going to come back
Maybe
with
that's how they'll announce it.
his viral TikTok, what is it, tuna casserole recipe or something like that? I don't know, man.
I'm a huge fan of actors in games. Like that combination and just raising the performance of what you can see in a story campaign in any video game. I want to see more actors in video games, and I want them to help make video games, like, guys, this is top tier entertainment trust.
How do you feel about musicians in video games? Because we heard about.
Go on.
Did you hear,
Okay.
Wait, did you hear about this one? This is the leak for 007 First Light.
Oh.
Wait, am I going to tell you this right now? Am I
Yes.
breaking this?
Yes. What is it?
Okay, this leaked today.
Uh-huh.
Right? So
Okay.
sorry if you don't want any spoilers about 007. We got to talk about the leaks. They leaked who the villain is for 007 First Light.
Should I just wait for the Game Awards?
Okay, so this is a main character in 007.
The villain. This is the villain.
The
All right.
villain.
You will never guess it.
I
You
mean,
will
Never?
never guess it.
Uh-oh.
It's great. I think it's great.
all right.
I think it's great. Everyone want to know? Does the world want to know?
Should we?
Okay.
They all said yes.
Yes.
It's Lenny Kravitz.
You're right. I never would have guessed it.
But I think it's great. I think it's great.
I can, you know what? I do think he fits into the overall James Bond aesthetic. I can see him being a Bond villain. That makes sense to me. Is he gonna sing?
Because I think they're.
I want to get away.
I mean, great song. But I think Lana Del Rey is doing the theme for it. So.
Oh,
that's
I mean,
fun.
that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Again, that's a perfect match.
Yeah.
Her voice feels right for an opening Bond theme. A very Adele-like, I mean, she's her own thing entirely, but you know what I mean.
I'm really excited for this game.
I am too. I think it's great.
It's one of the most anticipated games for me. I love the Bond movies, and I even went back and played the Nintendo 64 GoldenEye 007, and I just loved immersing myself in the world. And I think it's time for a 007 GoldenEye game to be back, in 2026, and this is the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the caliber of the studio, IOI, they know what they're doing. I love me Hitman World of Assassination.
Yep.
One thing, Hitman games are very distinct in that you are essentially the wrench that gets thrown into the level of the cog of the machine, and the fun is watching it all unfold.
Yeah.
But I always found myself wondering, like, what if Agent 47 was a little more agile or flexible? Like, what if there's some more fun? It's usually fail state or I restart, that kind of thing. So having that flexibility of James Bond to be able to improvise combat on the fly, which based on that PlayStation, was it a PlayStation Direct where they showed like an extended gameplay?
I want to say, yeah.
That looked outstanding.
Yeah.
And it just everything I was hoping the game would be. And the person that they cast for the new Bond, the young Bond, seems like a good choice. Very charming young man.
From Dexter Original Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Actor, yeah. Okay, we're about 15 minutes away from handing you over to Jeff Keighley's Game Awards. So make sure to stick around after the Game Awards to see some exclusive looks at even more games, brand new trailers, plus deep dives at some titles you'll see at the show tonight. Now, another game we know we're going to see more of this year is Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. We got its initial reveal at Gamescom a couple months ago, 2025. Before we talk more about that, let's take another look at that reveal trailer.
I need to become more than a man. I need to become a symbol.
What did you have in mind?
Who are you? I'm Batman. so serious. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. I'm allergic to nuts.
Who's the man behind the mask?
I got you!
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by. Ah! Who put that there? I could have really hurt myself.
The official product partner of IGN is Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
And we're back, counting down the moments until we hand you over to the 2025 Game Awards. We were just talking about the big leak of 007 First Light today. There's another big leak that happened today that we'll get to in just a bit. But Nick, I think there's some official news.
Yeah, we
that
got
was
some
just announced.
official news over on the Compulsion Games Twitter account, where it looks like South of Midnight, a Microsoft exclusive, is yet another in the line of games getting ported over to PlayStation 5. South of Midnight is coming to PlayStation 5 in spring of next year.
Cool.
So I suspect that this is just yet another, I would assume we're going to see a lot more Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5. We've already had
Yeah, but what's
Halo.
left?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong there. But just interesting news to see on the cusp of the Game Awards, but interesting. I mean, it's a beautiful looking game,
Yeah,
and I'm very excited for more people to get a chance to play it.
Yeah, I thought it looked really cool. I didn't play it when it came out earlier this year. Not any particular reason. I just never got to it. So maybe I will on PlayStation.
Solid narrative action game, just beautiful art
With a very
style.
cool.
Yeah, very cool Spider-Verse style.
Yeah. Okay, another big leak. The Game Awards announced they were going to be revealing the future of Tomb Raider. Now they didn't say it's like the next game, just the future of Tomb Raider, which is a little nebulous. We know that Crystal Dynamics has been working on a new Tomb Raider in Unreal Engine 5. We also know there's this live action series coming from Amazon, so
Yeah.
it could be like multiple announcements. But there's a big leak on Tomb Raider today. It's going to be Crystal Dynamics is doing a remake of the original Tomb Raider with a Lara Croft that sort of looks like they're splitting the difference between old school Lara and the 2013 reboot trilogy. And I think it works, it could work out remaking the original that just comes after the 2013 reboot trilogy, right?
So
So that was like her origin story anyway.
She survives like what the Mayan apocalypse or something
Yeah,
at the end of
yeah.
the third
I like
one.
Shadow, but the end of that is a little bit. I don't what did she just become a goddess for like a moment and now she's normal again?
It's interesting because I believe that like there's like 4, 5 PlayStation 1 era Tomb Raider games, something like
1,
that,
2,
and
3,
they just got a port, I believe, on Nintendo Switch where you can just play all of them.
Yeah,
That's exciting. I do think that the 2013 reboot was a great game.
Yes.
Granted, I kind of fell off on the sequels just because I feel like, yeah, I think I got what I needed from this franchise. But I'm excited for a remake of the original as long as I get to lock the butler in the freezer in Unreal Engine 5. High fidelity locking him in the freezer is what I need.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the remake of the original because I never had a chance to play the
Yeah,
original.
and the
so-
original's, it's a little clunky.
The jumping is very tough.
So I get to see, OG Lara Croft mixed with the modern one. I did get to play the sequels.
Yeah.
So we need that female protagonist back. Like she's like one of the icons of female video game.
She's the OG.
She's the OG. She's the most famous one. Maybe Samus. I don't know.
Well,
If you beat the game fast enough.
Right.
In Crystal Dynamics, I don't think they've shipped a new game since Marvel's Avengers.
Oh wow, the
2020.
Square Enix
Yeah.
one, right? That was back when they were a part of Square Enix,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, now
and
they're
no longer.
Embracer.
Wow.
So yeah.
Curious to see what they're up to, but yeah, no, I'm more people should experience Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
agreed.
all for that. And then another leak, I think this was from earlier this week. Resident Evil Requiem is coming in February.
Uh-huh.
And we know that it was going to be at the Game Awards. this leak is, just spoiling the worst kept secret in the industry, right?
He's not in the game. He's not in the game. How many times do we have to tell you he's not in the game?
I have refused
Plot
to.
twist. He's in the game.
I have refused to look at Twitter all day today because I just don't want to see anything coming from, I just don't want to. I just want the leak. I want to see it at the Game Awards. But I'm sure we can talk about it.
Well, I mean, so even if we don't say it, surely you know what
we're
they're
talking
talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't even need to say the name,
Should we though?
and everyone knows.
Should we though?
I mean, he's. It's not like correlation leads to causation, but he is in all the best Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
RE2, RE4, and he's the best part of RE6. So that means I think that just bodes well for Requiem, right? It's got a great track record so far.
I love. There's some people out there, surely, who haven't been following this, and they're trying. Who is it? Who are they talking about? Just tell
It's
me.
Mr. X. He's back.
Mr. X.
Oh, he's one of my favorite characters from Resident Evil. If this is true, which is probably true because everybody's saying it is, I just love the connection of this character to like bringing back, one of the original characters with a new character, Alyssa Ashcroft and her story. It almost feels like it's blending the new Resident Evil era with the old Resident Evil era, and I think that's the opportunity this game has.
Yeah, I'm excited to see our friend, our familiar face in action because I really like what Capcom's been doing with modern Resident Evils.
Yes.
I love 7 and Village. I've been having a hard time getting excited for Requiem just because like this, I don't know these characters. I never played the game that they're from. And it's just kind of like a samey, they're back to Raccoon City setting. So I just haven't seen like a hook.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing it very close to the chest, not really showing much footage outside of what I would assume is the beginning of the game with this Ashcroft character, where it feels more survival horror as opposed to the action horror that we're used to, which is totally great. The one thing that did get me hyped was, I believe, Japan News had like they just pointed a camera at footage we've never seen of Resident Evil before, and there was like footage of a villain attacking Ashcroft in third person. I was like, yeah, this looks fantastic, and it's just shaky over the shoulder off-screen footage, and it looked great. So yeah, I mean, Capcom hasn't missed in a while.
They haven't.
So honestly, I'm excited.
I feel like even though we didn't know the characters on my end, just seeing it was such a great start to a game, like the extreme circumstances that this character goes through outside of just, the zombie apocalypse starting, if we call them zombies in this game. I thought they were great, and I think it's a great start to a horror game. I just love when you start strong like this and you just get attached to the character and you just want to see, okay, what's going to happen now? I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys should see this trailer if you haven't.
And the one thing that Capcom has already talked about is that this game is a requiem for everything that's come before. It feels like they are trying to do some sort of soft reset for Resident Evil with this game, paying homage to the past. So I expect to see a lot of familiar faces, with our guest appearance. That only begs the question of when we will see his... are we going to see Ada in this game? Yeah, we're probably going to see Ada. I hope my boy Wesker's in there with his sunglasses. How's he looking in 2025 or whenever this? I think it's in like 2027. So I'm excited for this. Capcom released a really cool art with all of the RE protagonists on it, and it feels like they're really celebrating RE.
Which is Ada in any other?
And we're back. The Game Awards is about to start in about 5 minutes, and we are going to dive into the show. I can't wait to experience this with you guys. Let me turn up my volume. Should I use my headphones? Yeah, let me use my headphones. Oh man. Here we go, guys. Let me know what you guys are excited for in the comment section. I can't wait. We're about to go in. Game Awards. Hashtag Game Awards. Hashtag Momentum Media.
welcome to the 2025 Game Awards opening act. I'm Sydney Goodman, here to start us off on gaming's biggest night, streaming all around the world. We are coming to you live from the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles to celebrate the year in games, with special performances including from the Game Awards Orchestra and Evanescence, surprise guests, and world premieres like Resident Evil Requiem, Phantom Blade Zero, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, and many more. Plus, over 20 brand new games you haven't heard about yet. It will make you believe the universe is conspiring for you. And you know what? I don't think I can wait any longer. Let's just get started right now. Tonight is a very special Game Awards because 3 of our Game of the Year nominees are from indie studios. So we're going to start things off with the announcement of a beautiful new game from the Burlington, Vermont-based Frame Interactive Studios. This is The Free Shepherd.
Okay, this looks boring as hell. This game, I don't. Nefreeze Shepherd, if that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, this looks stupid. It's just a dog running in place, running in different parts of the world. Big whoop. No action, no nothing. Anybody who buys this game is going to be wasting their money.
Okay, I'll say it. The protagonist is not only powerful, but I'm proud to also confirm it is adorable. And now it's time to give out our very first Game Award. Here are the nominees for Best Family Game. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
It's definitely going to Donkey Kong
Lego
Bonanza.
Party.
Definitely
Lego
going to Donkey
Voyagers.
Kong Bonanza.
Mario Kart World. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
I bet money
and the
it's
Game
going to
Award
go to
goes
Donkey
to
Kong Bonanza.
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
On behalf of all of us at Nintendo, and especially the Donkey Kong Bonanza development team, thank you. With this game, the team had an objective of creating a thrilling game where players could feel the strength of Donkey Kong as he smashed through obstacles and discovered how music would shape his overall journey. As a lifetime fan of Donkey Kong, I think they delivered on that and so much more. We're grateful to the fans and to the Game Awards for this honor. Looks like smashing things is kind of fun. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And now we have 2 more. Congratulations. And now we have 2 more world premieres ready to go. Up first is another independent game that hails from a solo developer in Sweden who's a hardcore Souls fan. He's built a brutal melee combat experience backdrop. Spooky. This is Decrepit.
There might be a slight delay, so I apologize, you guys. Okay. Oh, the devil is a liar? No, not my kind of game. Nah, this game needs Jesus. I'm good. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Every year when I watch the Game Awards, I'm not really all that impressed. When we gonna get to the good stuff? Like, for real, this is stupid.
That was Audio Mech, the new game from Dylan Fitter, the creator of Audio Surf. And starting tomorrow, you can play an Audio Mech demo available on Steam. If you want to check out that demo, other Game Awards demos, and wish list games showcased tonight, we made it easy for you. Check out the Game Awards page on Steam. We'd like to take a moment to remind everyone that tonight's Game Awards broadcast is available on YouTube with dedicated ASL and descriptive audio feeds. And in that spirit, it's now time for our next award, Innovation in Accessibility.
Okay.
This year's nominees have all demonstrated their commitment to making games that are as playable as possible by as many players as possible. And they are Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26.
It might be Doom: The Dark
and
Ages.
South of Midnight. And the Game Award goes to Doom: The Dark Ages.
Oh, wow. I was correct again.
Thank you so much. This is such an honor. You know, Hugo set the vision for this with the idea of creating Doom for all Slayers, a Doom for all Slayers. And we couldn't be more proud of the team for executing on that. It takes such commitment. Thank you also to Xbox for their commitment to accessibility and the support of the game, and as well as our partners at ZeniMax. User research, QA, our dev team, our accessibility consultants. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Doom: The Dark Ages. Still to come, more brand new game announcements, awards, and at the top of the hour, maybe Jeff will finally reveal what that statue in the desert is all about. I'm thinking it's probably not related to Miss Piggy, who will also be here later. We'll be right back.
The best time for you to play Guild Wars 2 is now. Immerse yourself in a realm of magic, mystery, and boundless adventure. Heed the clarion call as you join a community of millions. Dive deep and explore a wealth of lore. Celebrate the release of Guild Wars 2's newest expansion, Visions of Eternity. Download and play now.
Ducks shooting each other. Okay.
Welcome back to the Game Awards opening act. We are counting down to the big show, so I signed an NDA, but I'm going to risk it all just for you. So here's a hint about what's coming up. There will be lots of new game announcements, including Lara Croft's return in the next Tomb Raider, a deeper look at Resident Evil Requiem, the announcement of the release date for Phantom Blade Zero, and the Game Awards Orchestra, conducted by Lauren Bouth, will pay tribute to our 6 Game of the Year nominees. And rest easy, I'm able to confirm Flute Guy will be back. But for now, it's time for our 3 esports awards. The first up is Best Esports Game, presented by Game. And the nominees are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Valorant. And the Game Award goes to
I don't know.
Counter-Strike 2. The nominees for Best Esports Athlete are Brock, Chovy, Forsaken, Kakaru, Mena RD, and Zywoo. And the Game Award goes to
I have no idea who these athletes are, by the way. So I'm learning this just as you guys are.
for Best Esports Team are Gen G, NRG, Team Falcons, Team Liquid PH, and Team Vitality. And the Game Award goes to Team Vitality. Congratulations to all our winners. Okay, I want to take a minute to remind everyone that we are streaming live around the world on more than 30 platforms, including for the first time on Prime Video. While you're watching, you can head on over to TikTok to share your favorite moments using #TheGameAwards. We can't wait to see your videos. And now I have yet another world premiere and new look for all you real ones. Here's some important news about Capcom's Pragmata.
I actually may get this game.
On Earth?
Of course I have. Got a house with a view and everything. You're just gonna stay here when this is all done? What do you want? Man, Enos again. I can't do anything.
Hello, unregistered guests. Your presence here is a violation of Cradle Security Protocol.
Stunning. I have the same beach in my research station back home. And surprise, you can play a demo of Pragmata on Steam right now. See, we're giving you lots of goodies tonight, and trust me, there's more to come. And now I have another award. These nominees are games that never leave you because they're on your phone. Here are the nominees for Best Mobile Game. Destiny Rising, Persona 5 The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Umamasume Pretty Derby, and Wuthering Waves. And the Game Award goes to Umamasume Pretty Derby.
It is a tremendous honor to receive this amazing award. This was only possible with the support of our fans. I deeply appreciate all the Uma Musume trainers out there. To the people who are not familiar with science, we are dedicated to
Give me a
being
second, guys.
the
I'll be right
best
back.
entertainment. We will promise you more wild contents coming, so stay tuned. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, I think I have to take a quick break and play Uma Musume. It's not my ADHD, it's professional development and my ADHD. But there's so much more to come, including 2 brand new game announcements from 2 brand new game studios right after this.
My dear children, I write this letter to you as testimony of my undying love. Deorcus, my beloved, you will honor our goddess more than I ever could. Ricard, my cherished, find your father's steel and face the challenges ahead. What happened?
She knew Maraike was coming for her.
Never forget, the bonds that tie the 6 of you will be your strength.
Lies. You should have saved her.
She deserves the peace of death.
What an interesting family you must have. Is that fear I sense? Good.
Stay in the light. Never give into darkness. Your loving mother, Mahin.
I know we've never quite seen eye to eye. Believe it or not, Whitaker, we want the same thing. It's all out there in the zone. You never know what you might find.
Welcome back. We are oh so close to the top of the hour. Everybody, go tell your friends to tune in and get ready for a night of awards, world premieres, musical performances, and lots of surprise guests we haven't told you about, because then they wouldn't be surprises. But now it's time to honor another game studio with an award, and it's one of my favorite categories, Best Independent Game. This year, there have been so many incredible independent titles from studios around the world, and our global jury of media selected these 6 as the best. Absolum, Ball Pit, Blueprints, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. And the Game Award goes to Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Thank you. I remember Sunfall beginnings in early 21, just 4 of us painting the walls of the small office we had just rented. We wanted to make a small game then, but with big ambition and creative independence. It was challenging every day. For most of our team, present here tonight, Expedition 33 is the first game we've ever shipped.
We couldn't be prouder of what this team has achieved.
And we dedicate this award to all the indie teams around the world, to those who put creativity first, to those who push forward with limited resources, also to those who never make it to the release, and also to those who bring extraordinary games to life every year. You make our art form richer, and you continue to inspire generations of creators and players. Thank you.
Congratulations. Speaking of independent teams, this next game is a special one from a brand new independent studio. It comes from Day for Night, a new studio from the lead designer of Red Dead Redemption and the creative director of Mario plus Rabbids. We're excited to share this global announcement with you for this action-adventure game that blends exploration with mind-bending free-form puzzles.
I love a new game. Okay, sunshine, check. Back, check. Time for a new platforming adventure. What? My village was gone. All I wanted was to go back home. Badger born. Tried exploring. Did some jumping around. You know, the classics. It's what I do. Everywhere I went looked strange and weirdly unfinished. And that's when I found it. And everything changed. Literally. Oh yeah! Make your own platform game, baby! Now we're talking! I had a new grasp on things. I learned tricks that blew my mind. I really transformed myself. This thing is amazing! Made a bunch of new friends. Picked up new wheels. Figured out how to think big. And small. I had it all. And then the code broke down. Really? And that's when I found you.
Okay, so I always expected it to be the AI chatbots that achieve sentience first, but I'm down for an animated Badger Singularity. And yes, that is actor Evan Peters playing the role of Bradley the Badger. I have one more world premiere for you. It comes from an incredible brand new studio in Osaka, Japan. This is a wholly original new world coming in 2026. And we're excited to share the announcement and the first look at gameplay with you.
In love, first sight to alone despair. Fiercely blaze my heart, see these frozen air. Dark and cold, the place that's on your face, I fell in love. Don't even know I got your name, girl.
I don't mind, even care about you illusions. Shattered dreams, now it's see no salvation, boy.
Take on away, we're rising like a fade.
Hold me close, I can feel a connection. Hell appears, push your back, you won't come around.
The serpent won't die, never die away.
I will break through the wall, I will stand tall. With a year in my heart, I will never fall. Step in love, will not die, never know where.
In the depths of the night, I will take flight. Double up, mighty fall, walk consume and burn.
The serpent never dies, never died away. I will fall, fight through the crazy fight, take alone. With you, 'cause I'm leaving all of that down.
I don't eat humans.
Okay, if that doesn't get you hyped for the main show, then maybe you're the problem. That was Stupid Never Dies from GP Track 50, a studio made up of action game lovers who have worked on titles such as Devil May Cry, Dragon's Dogma, and Resident Evil, creating action games for action game fans. Okay, we're minutes away from the main event. We have one more award for you. A category that celebrates other media that took video game IP and made movie and TV magic. Here are the nominees for Best Adaptation. A Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell Death Watch, The Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. And the Game Award goes to The Last of Us Season 2.
Very much. Gabe? I want to thank all the original devs that worked on The Last of Us Part 2, all my homies back at Naughty Dog, our outsourced partners, our fans, our video game fans. This opportunity wouldn't exist without you. Thanks to all the support we got from PlayStation Productions, Sony Pictures, HBO. Do we need to thank Netflix or Paramount or whoever our streaming overlord is now? But most of all, I really want to give a big shout out to our crew, our incredible cast led by Pedro, Bella, Isabella, Gabe. They really threw themselves at this and did their best to bring our world to life in live action, and we're super proud of what they've done. Thank you to the Game Awards. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, The Last of Us. Okay, my guys, we have reached the end of the opening act, which means it's time for a new beginning. The Game Awards main event is imminent, with big awards, even more world premieres, and amazing performances, surprise guests that even I don't know about, because if you guys remember, I violated my NDA earlier, and they decided I couldn't be trusted. But you know you can trust me to be absolutely losing my mind when we get to Lara Croft's long-awaited return, the announcement of the next Tomb Raider, which is just minutes away. And that's just one of the announcements we've told you about. There are a lot of other ones that are so secret, all I get to see completely serious. Anyway, thank you for going on this journey with me, and congratulations again to all the winners so far. Trust me, the fun is just beginning, so buckle up. The 2025 Game Awards starts now.
Arrête de m'aimer. Je t'aimerai toujours. Lâche ta chaud, quitte cette toile. Reviens. Je prendrai toujours. Arrête de prendre. Lâche ta chaud, quitte cette toile. See, that's one
Living things can't help but change, you see. They can't stay the same forever. That's what living is. To change and to embrace change.
For so long I have waited.
Sometimes we paint the bars of our own prison.
So long that I almost became
You chose a hard road for yourself.
just a stoic statue fit for a nobody. And I don't wanna get in your way.
7 people change the world.
Finally think I can say
Say the thing you're afraid to say.
that the vicious cycle was over the moment you smiled at me.
We can work with this.
To new beginnings.
Ring the bell, sharks for
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
You know me, headmistress.
I know enough to get into trouble.
Is this what my tomorrow will be?
For those who come after.
Welcome to the Game Awards 2025. Now, here's your host, the creator of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Game Awards, a night to celebrate the best and discover what's next in video games. Tonight, we are connected through our love of games. Thousands of us here at Peacock Theater and millions more watching around the world in places like China, India, Brazil, in the middle of the night in Europe. I know it's late. I see you guys. Thank you for showing up for this show. And first of all, thank you to Elise Duport-Percier, Lorian Testard, and the music of Claire Obscure. Expedition 33 kicked off the show. An amazing performance. And of course, that is the most nominated game in the history of the Game Awards. And many members of the team from Sandfall Interactive are here with us tonight. I think you can identify them based on their attire tonight. Welcome, guys. It's great to have you here. You know, every year this show reminds us why video games matter. They are worlds we share, stories we live, communities we build, and experiences that challenge, inspire, and connect us like nothing else, especially when life gets hard. I don't usually open up about personal things on stage, but 2025 tested me in ways I didn't expect. In January, my home burned down to nothing but ashes here in the Los Angeles fires. And just a few months ago, I lost my dad, who quietly sat in this audience every single year, proud, supportive, always cheering us on. My mom's here tonight, and we've left an empty seat beside her in his honor. Miss you, Dad. But in the middle of all that loss and rebuilding, this show and all of you became a source of strength for me. I think about this night, this moment, and this community, and it gave me something to look forward to. It reminded me how important it is to celebrate games. Games have this incredible ability to hold us when we're hurting, to lift us up when we feel small, to give us somewhere to go when the real world feels unsteady. I know I'm not alone in knowing that. All of you watching tonight, you've felt that power too, and that's why we're all connected in this moment. We're here to celebrate the artists, technicians, and storytellers who help this medium soar to new heights. Tonight, we're going to honor over 100 nominees and celebrate a record-setting 3 independent titles up for Game of the Year. That's right. And we are going to have some fun, of course, too, with a whole slate of brand new game announcements that will hopefully get you excited about the limitless future ahead. So let's get going. To present our first award, a father and son, 2 remarkable actors. He is one of the finest performers working today, from Isaac in The Last of Us to Chase in Dispatch, and his son brings young Chase to life in Dispatch as well. Please welcome to the Game Awards, Jeffrey and Elijah Wright.
Wow, this is incredible. I'm so excited to be here tonight in the company of so many incredible artists and gaming fans. Particularly as games increasingly explore new frontiers of storytelling. But the reason I'm here really